Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. This episode I'm quite excited about. It's the ceiling. So I went and bought, which is in my other van, I went and bought some cladding yesterday. Day before yesterday, I don't know. We've had a couple of wet days, so I haven't done much in the last couple of days. So, ceiling cladding. Because of the depth of the flange, or the skylight insert, I had to have thin cladding, which is no problem anyway, because it saves on weight. The thick cladding I've got in my Ducato is heavy anyway, so if you can get away with thin cladding, do that. The only issue I find with thin cladding is that it's not as strong to fix cupboards and units too, but it is lightweight. So because of the skylight depth, the insert depth, I needed to get thin cladding, so I got 8mm thin cladding, 3 meters in length. The packs of 5, I bought 4, so I got 20 lengths of 3 meters tongue and groove 8mm thin cladding, which is in the other van. We also bought some stain. We're going to do a dark ceiling, stained cladded ceiling in this van. Now with this cladding, I'm going to install it all. Before I stain it, I'm going to install it all, cut it, screw it, fix it all in place, but I'm going to retake it all off to stain it all on the on the workbench, on the horses that I've got here. It's a lot easier to do that rather than stain it above your head. And also you can stain the tongue on the groove, because sometimes, well, this cladding, when it gets warm and cold, it expands and shrinks, so you'll end up being able to see the tongue in the gap. And if you haven't stained the tongue, then you'll see the white strips on the ceiling. So it's far better to bring it all down again, stain it all down here, and then when it's all stained, just put it back up. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go and get it out my other van, bring a pack of cladding in here and see if we can make a start. So this is the length of cladding. Got it from Wicks because it's exactly the right size and length and thickness that I wanted. Now I really didn't want a load of joins on the ceiling. I've done it in my van where I got 5.1 meter length pieces of cladding, so I've got no joins across my ceiling, so it all looks nice and you know, it makes it look longer. If you haven't got any breaks or joins on the ceiling, it makes the van appear longer, and I think it's cleaner as well to have no joins going the other way. So I made sure that this tongue and groove that I bought for this van does the same. But obviously the only sections of cladding that are going to be unbroken are either side of the skylight, because the cladding's going to come up to the skylight here, but on the sides, you know, you'll get that nice clean look with no breaks in the cladding. As you can see here, I've drawn pen on the vapor barrier where the wooden battens are underneath. If you haven't already seen that video, click on this card up here, go and watch that video, so I know exactly where all the wooden planks are underneath this, so I know where I can fix my cladding to. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fixing points. I've got to take this insert out because the cladding is going to tuck behind this white trim of this skylight, and then I have an insert. Once the cladding's on, I have an insert of this skylight to fit with a blind on. So we take the inside of that off and we start cladding. Okay, so I've taken the insert, I've taken this insert off of the skylight, so now I'm just going to vapor barrier all the edges of this insulation that I put up the other week. If you never saw the insulation video, go and click on that card up there and watch that. Why not start watching this series from the beginning? Go and click on episode 1, won't take you long, catch up, and then you're not behind, then you know what's happening. Okay, so I've now done the sort of a vapor barrier with foil tape all around the edge of that skylight. So you can see all the insulation is sealed in now, all the metal of the van is covered. But I mean, bar a couple of mil there. But I'm happy with that, that's all sealed in. What I normally do with cladding is I find the centre point of the skylight and I put the first section straight down the middle of the van, covering over the skylight for now, The easiest way for me to find the center point, because I'm going to start right in the center, is to look on the skylight. Now on the skylight you've got these screw holes, and this one here is perfectly in the center of that skylight. My cladding is 9.5 centimeters. So I found the center point, I'll put it on that screw, and I've marked with a pen. So that's my first piece of cladding that's going there. I've marked it on here as well. So then I know that that is the center point around that skylight. Now I just need to figure out the center point back here. I'm pretty sure that the middle of this is the center point of the van. So I'll offer up the first piece of cladding and see how it looks, and look down the line and look down the lines of the van and see if it's center. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty close. By the way, that plan of lining the first center cladding up with the skylight only works if your skylight is perfectly central. Now my skylight is pretty central. It looks good actually. It looks pretty good. The lines of the van. What I'll do now is I'll just mark with pen either side of where this first plank's going, because I'm going to be bringing it all down to sand and stain. When I take it all down, I want to make sure that I know where this first one is going, and that way I can get the screw hole to meet up. Okay, so as you can see, I've cladded completely over the skylight for now, mainly so I can get the cut exactly right. So I need to mark with my pencil just this inside of this, maybe by like 1/2 centimeter or something. So it's quite easy to do that from here. I'll do that with every piece. You could measure from front to back, but this is how I've done it in the past. This is how I'm going to do it today. Okay. So it's at this point where I'm thinking about the lights. Now I'm gonna have I've got 6 lights for the ceiling. I might actually only do 4. I'm not giving you the finger. Two lights, maybe 1, 2 above the entrance. Kitchen's gonna be here, so another one there, another one there, and I think I might have different lights in the bedroom. But yeah, the next length of cladding that I put on here and here are going to have the lights on. By the way, you can get cladding clips. I don't really trust the cladding clips on the ceiling. On a wall it's okay, but I'm going to buy some nice chrome, because it's going to be a dark ceiling. I'm going to buy some nice chrome screw covers, so that'll tidy the screw heads up. These are the lights we're going to use. I've used them in my other van. Good thing about these lights is that they're flush fitting, so you don't have to countersink a big hole in the floor. They're like this thin. These are, you can choose between cool lighting or warm lighting, and we chose warm for this van. So you literally unscrew the front here, and then you've got 2 screw holes, and you can screw the base plate into the ceiling. So all you need to, the only hole you need to make is the hole for the cable. Hole for the cable to go through the ceiling, and then just screw it on. And all the cables for the lighting is all going to go to this point. I'll connect them all together here, and then I'll have another cable going down all the conduit down to the electrics. I'm now taking it all down. I completely covered the skylight, and I've marked behind it all the little markers where I need to cut. So I'm taking it down again now. It may seem a bit of a backwards way of doing it, but anyway, you can see here as I'm bringing them down, I'm marking them. Passenger side 5, passenger side 4, got a little F and an arrow. And these are all the little marks I made for my skylight there and there. So I'll draw them lines I'll cut them all out. So yeah, I drew all the lines I need to cut. Made lots of notes so I know where everything goes. Now I'm just cutting out all the bits I need to cut out, sand it down, and then I can stain it all. Right. Okay, I've cut all the bits that need to be cut to go around the skylight. Not quite. Let me show you what's going on here. This is a real mess right now. This is all the driver's side. This is all from the middle to the driver's side. All these pieces here need to be sanded. Them as well, them and them. All need to be sanded. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a real light sand with a real fine piece of paper. I think the finest I've got is 180 grit. Just gonna go over them with a bit of sandpaper, and then I can stain them. I'll show you the stain that I've got in a minute. It says 2 coats, but I may do 1 and see how I like it, whether it's dark enough. This is the problem when you haven't got a workshop or anything. You have to work in the van. I don't mind working outside, but it's raining, so I'm just gonna have to do a bit at a time in the van. Okay, all sanded. Giving it a little bit of time in here for all the dust to settle before I do this. I'm going to try a bit of staining now. This is the stuff I bought. I got it from Wickes, the same place I got this cladding from. The choice was Wickes' own wood stain or Ronseal, which is almost double the price. So we've gone with the Wickes stuff. Quick drying wood stain, exterior and interior, rainproof in an hour, but it's a warm oak that we've got. Not sure what it's going to look like. I know I want a dark ceiling in this van. Yeah, we'll give it 1 coat now, see how it looks. If we want to go darker, we'll give it its 2nd coat. But I imagine this wood will soak it up straight away, so I think we'll probably have to do 2 coats at least. So, alright, let's give it a go. We've got some brushes to give it a go with. Never used wood stain before. Yeah, definitely going to need 2 coats. Making sure that I get the tongue, because that's the bit I mentioned that's going to be visible if this wood ever shrinks or expands. So that's 1 coat done on the driver's side of this roof. Oh man, probably got really weird marks on my face now from this mud. Oh, I've just come out. I've done a 2nd coat on this stuff. I think I'm probably going to do a 3rd coat. This is before and after, so you can see the difference. It brings out that grain, makes it really pop, that grain. I'll let that go off overnight now, and I'll show the wife in the morning and see what she thinks. But it's a really nice colour, I quite like it now, but may just go 1 more. Good morning. Okay, I've come down and I've had a look at it, and my wife thinks I should do 1 more coat, but I wasn't sure. I think it looks nice compared to the piece that hasn't been touched. I think it looks nice, but we've decided to go with just 2 coats for now, because we can always give it another coat once it's all on the ceiling. The reason I wanted to stain it while it was down, I think I've mentioned, is that if you don't stain the tongue, which is normally hidden when they're all assembled, eventually you'll see white lines down where you've missed with the stain. Right, good morning. Pretty early. So all the ceiling has had 2 coats. The ceiling is all down here. Other than these are just separator bits. Don't need to worry about that. But that should be all the cladding stain for the ceiling. But before I can do that, I need to tidy up here. So I've got some stretch carpet which is down here. So for all the little fiddly bits, they will need to be covered with carpet before I can put the ceiling up, and then that will be a nice tidy finish. Now, I've seen most people put their carpet straight on the metal. I mean, it's all packed with insulation in there, so there's no reason why I can't put carpet straight on the metal. You could put this liner all over it first, but I don't think I'm going to bother because it's all insulated, and you should be able to follow all the contours quite nicely with the carpet. So I've got that bit to do, back of the van, and I'm probably going to have a go at the top of this door here. You know, the carpet will follow these curves around there, and then the cladding on the ceiling will cover that. That's the only thing I need to do for now before I can get the ceiling up, because I'm dying to get the ceiling up. So yeah, let's open this carpet. I'll show you what colour we went for. So this is the carpet we've gone for. This is the colour we've gone for. It's this light grey. Plenty of spray adhesive glue. It is one-sided. I think one side is more fluffy and the other side is more smooth. So this is the side I'm going to stick, and leaving the fluffy side to be visible. Yeah, so all the fiddly trim bits, that piece up there, this piece up here, possibly like the side bits up here, and maybe that channel, that, you know, all the fiddly bits that are usually exposed metal once you've done the conversion will be covered in this stuff. Depending on how the install goes and how I like this carpet, I'll leave a link in the description down below for the guy that I bought this from. Reasonable prices. It looks good. I'm not looking forward to this at all. I've never used stretch carpet, but I know it can really tidy up all those horrible little bits and pieces, and it can do a good job. So my wife's going to come down and help me. I think it might be a bit easier to have 2 people holding it up. But I think the plan is I'm going to stick it on the top here first, attach it to the reflectix here, and then let it hang. I've removed these brackets for the doors. I'm going to have to take this rubber trim off. But yeah, stick it on the ceiling and let it hang, and then from underneath it spray all this, and then slowly try and work the carpet around all these contours and things. We'll see how it goes. So my wife just had a very interesting idea. Do you want to tell them what it is?
Well, I just said make sure you put it the right way around, and Luke thought I meant obviously the back is the side that is clearly gonna be stuck to the wall.
Yeah. And
then you got the front. And I said, feel it. You stroke it down, it's nice and soft. Stroke it up. Not so soft.
Not so, yeah.
So I said make sure when you put it on the wall, you stroke it down.
Make sure you put it on the wall so that when you run your hand down the wall, it's smooth, because it's not so smooth. I would never have thought to do that, but that's quite a good point. So yeah, we're going to cut a strip now and have a go. I'm quite scared about this. if you'd like to use the knife, it's pretty sharp. So yeah, we're at the point now where we're going to put the lights on the ceiling. The ones over here, we need to thread all the cables to the other side. All the cables are going to go down here. So Becca's enjoying using this cable pushy.
This thing's awesome.
Pushy through thing.
Stuck on something there.
What do you think of that? Back out. Or find it. Yeah. So I'm gonna call it there on this video. This is my ceiling. I'm very, very happy with it. I've just got the end planks to do. Oh, there's some stuff in the background of this shot that you haven't seen yet. So ignore that. We'll just sort of aim this way. You can still see it. Anyway, what do you think of my ceiling? I think the colour is amazing. And once you've got the skylight in and the lights in, it just shows that contrast. I really, really like it. So there we go. Now that the floor and the ceiling are done, I know the height. I can show you what the height is. I brought the floor up by 50mm. So I had 34 battens and then 18mm treated MDF. So yeah, I brought the floor up by that much. I brought the ceiling down probably similar amount. And in this Fiat Ducato, 6 foot 1 inch. So I have 6 foot and 1 inches of headroom now. That's to the wood. The skylight comes down a little bit to 6 foot. The skylight is 6 foot, so if you're 6 foot or 6 foot over, this wouldn't maybe be ideal. You may have to ever so slightly crook your neck unless you was to stand up in the skylight, but for a 5'8" guy like me, absolutely fine. So there we go, gonna leave that video there. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in next week's video. Alright, thanks for watching, bye bye.